Top 5 reasons electric vehicles are better than internal combustion engine vehicles, or ICE vehicles as the kids call them these days. Number 1, combined with enough home solar, you can fuel your car for free. So I installed a level 2 charger in my house. I've been living here since approximately September, middle of September, and I charge my Chevy Volt, 2013 Chevy Volt, regularly. In fact, I just did a video where I showed you how many miles I drove in 1 month. It was 1,116.8, and of those miles, 1,040.8 was done on electricity only. So I'm charging my car at least once, if not multiple times, every day. I recently had a solar system put on my house, an 8 kilowatt hour system by Moxie Solar out of Iowa. Get into that later in a different video. That system is supposed to offset my yearly electricity usage. So essentially, if it does that, then I'll essentially be getting my fuel for my car and my motorcycle, which is a 2018 Zero SR all electric motorcycle. I'll be getting the fuel for that, which is electricity, for free, which is pretty cool. So compared to an ICE vehicle, internal combustion engine vehicle, you can't make your own fuel at home. There's only one place to get gasoline for your vehicle, and that's a gas station. They're everywhere, it's convenient, it is expensive compared to electric vehicles, see my other videos, but there's only one way to get your fuel from. Whereas if you power your home with solar, you're generating your own fuel. It's pretty sweet when you think about it. It's pretty utopian, actually. That was number 1. Combined with enough home solar, you can essentially fuel your car or cars, if you have multiple ones, or vehicles, whatever you want to call them, for free. Number 2, stable fuel prices. I've already done a couple of videos about my electric bill. I pay about 12.8 cents per kilowatt hour. And those rates, yes, they will go up over time, but they'll go up very regularly and by not a very big margin. Fuel prices, on the other hand, are dependent on so many things that are out of your control, my control. Sometimes they're out of even like the US government's control. Most of us that are watching this video remember, when was it, 2008, 2009, and through about, I think it was 2013, 2014. I was in college, fuel prices were averaging about $3.50 a gallon. In Indiana, in California, they were, West Coast, they were East Coast probably too, they were well over $4 a gallon. And that spike just happened. I don't know what caused it. OPEC really, they control the global flow of oil. They control the supply of oil, so they essentially control the price. They can set the price however they want. Ramp up production, or they can slow down production to change price, essentially. With an electric car, since you're paying from the grid, and it doesn't matter whether it's coal produced or hydro or geo or natural gas or nuclear or solar or wind, the rate you pay is generally going to stay the same. And it's usually very clear what you're paying for on your electric bill. So just take a look at your electric bill. You also don't have to worry about like waking up one morning, driving your 15 mpg SUV and gas being $4 a gallon. Stable fuel prices, that was number 2. Number 3, less maintenance. Pretty obvious, right? So tires, windshield wipers, wiper fluid, coolant, brakes, all those like basic things that every car has. Every car has wheels, every car has windshield wipers, brake fluid is gonna be a thing, windshield wiper washer fluid is gonna be a thing. What electric vehicles don't have is a big, loud, noisy internal combustion engine, unless you have a plug-in hybrid like I do, but it is nice to have that engine once in a while. Overall, if I could afford an all-electric vehicle, which I could, but I would prefer an pure electric vehicle. But I have the Volt, and I use it mostly in electric only. So anyway, so less maintenance. I can tell you on my Volt, I've had it for 4.5 years now. I replaced all the tires just once. There was a minor cosmetic defect where like the top like headliner was kind of falling down a little bit by the windshield, so it was like $20. They just like reclipped it there. I've had the oil changed twice because it's usually depending on how much you drive on the gas engine, you want to change the oil every 2 years just because it gets old sitting in the car. What other thing? I think I've had the air filter replaced once or twice. I've had coolant. I don't know if the battery coolant, but I've had at least one there's like 2 coolant systems on that car. There's a battery coolant system because it's thermally managed, and then the engine coolant system, which is like any other radiator engine cooled. But I think I've had that changed, wheels rotated, what else? There's gotta be something else. That's it. So that's on a Chevy Volt with an internal combustion engine. It's just less maintenance. Now it's not maintenance free, but it's less maintenance. Number 4, and this is dependent on your living situation, but the assumption is with electric vehicles is you either own a home or rent a home. And if it's a fully electric vehicle, for it to be viable, you have to have a level 2 charger. A 240 volt, 30 amp charger. It's level 1, you can probably get by, but you're gonna be in a pinch once in a while. Number 4, you always have a full tank in the morning. Now this is obviously dependent if you want to charge it up to full. Say for instance, if you have a Tesla and you set your charge limit to 80% every day, for you that 80% is actually full because that's all the range you need for that given day. If you set the charge limit to 100% because you're going on a trip or you just need that extra range for that day, then that would be full. That's like waking up every morning with a full tank of gas. You know, every morning. Drove half a tank of gas, 200 miles or whatever. You don't go to a gas station, you go home, you plug in your car, you wake up, your tank is refueled every morning. It's pretty cool. And your garage and your home essentially becomes your charger, which is it's just cool, again, I'm a nerd about these things. So number 4, you always have a full tank in the morning, assuming you have a level 2 charger in your garage, which I finally do because I bought a house finally. Number 5, quick, quiet, and smooth. So if you don't get electric vehicles or you don't understand them, I highly recommend you go test drive a Tesla. Okay. A lot of people like to talk about Tesla and electric vehicles, but then I ask them, well, have you test drove one? They're like, no, I don't want to be pressured to buy one. And I'm like, listen, I've test drove a Model S, I think twice, 2 or 3 times. No, 3 times I think I've test driven a Model S. Model X once, Model 3. And actually the Model 3 was the only performance version of the Tesla that I drove. I haven't test drove the Model Y, probably won't because it's probably very similar to the Model 3. But what they don't understand is that Tesla, they're not there to sell you the car. They don't care if you buy, they don't have a car to sell you most of the time. When I test drove them, they didn't have cars sitting by for people to sell. It wasn't like a lot. You want to buy a Tesla, you go online and you order something off, I don't know, Amazon or something. But anyway, quick, quiet, and smooth. Even my Volt, it just is. It's still to this day always a pleasure to drive. It's like a luxury vehicle, really, and it's a Chevy Volt. A Volt 2013. It's like old. It's still a luxury drive. It's quiet. It's smooth. It's quick. So for me, a Tesla would just, having a Tesla every day would just blow my mind. But test driving a Tesla is that's obviously the luxury premium end of that, of an EV, but it gives you an idea of oh, wow, this is awesome. People that just want a commuter vehicle, they want something that's quiet, smooth, efficient, cheap to operate. Electric cars are the only cars that make sense, because if you're looking at a Toyota Corolla that, has a 4-cylinder engine, gets probably 30, 40 mpgs. You compare that 30 mpgs to an SUV that gets 20, it's the efficiency difference for what you're losing out on in size of the vehicle, space of the vehicle, towing capacity, maybe all-wheel drive, it's not that different. So it's that's why people gravitate towards SUVs and trucks, because the MPGs, Malibu or a Corolla or whatever mid-sized car isn't that much better than a truck, some trucks or SUVs. So that's why electric vehicles make perfect sense for everyday driver commuter cars. Quick, quiet, and smooth. It's pretty obvious. Okay, that's my video for today. Top 5 reasons why electric vehicles are better than internal combustion engine vehicles. If you like this video, please give me a thumbs up. If you have not so and you want to, please subscribe. Yeah, leave a comment. Tell me what you think. See you next time. Get out of here. So you're saying that more people will watch a video of Doug DeMuro sleeping than this? Yeah, that's probably true. I think he sleeps in what would be a weird sheet set, Lamborghini, Ferrari, some weird car, an El Camino bedspread. You think he's just a normal dude? Yes, yeah, you're right. I mean, more people probably would watch that, but hey, I'm just trying my best over here, and yeah, so jog on.